been a while since we were out here in the garden with you guys. And so today on this beautiful October afternoon, we thought we would show you a little bit of what's been going on, what's still flowering, and what we're doing here in the autumn to get our garden ready for winter that is just around the corner.
That's true. And we have actually not done so much out here lately. Right now I'm just taking back some of the summer flowers. Here's the zinnias that's finished, the Freudenhead here. And what we do, the ones that's looking a little bit sad, we won't pull the whole thing up since this is a new established flower bed here. So we leave, I just actually take the green shoots, most of it over in the compost, but the roots we will leave so it can really create some structure here in this new...
Yeah, the reason why we're leaving the roots, if this was a perennial, we would of course dig up all the roots, but because these are summer flowers, they're not going to come back anyway. So we're just going to cut them down to the ground, leaving the roots. The reason is the roots, they're not going to do anything, they're going to die, and they're going to give structure to this flower bed, which is new. If you remember, this is a newly established one this year. So this new soil that's here, we really need it to have some structure, to be able to hold on to some nutrients. So leaving those roots in there will help with drainage. It'll just, compost on down and be better for the flowers, next season. Yeah. So that's why we're going to do that. And that's going to happen to all of our summer flowers, even to this guy.
Even though it's Blockquest here is still really, we're letting it kind of fall over the terrace here. But also with the Freudenhead here, I've sown from seed directly in the ground. But the minus is that when we plant so close together, it can quickly overshadow some of the other smaller perennials here that didn't really even flower, because I do plant very closely, because then I don't have to weed a lot. But so this one kind of get lights now and he gets so surprised there's sunlight up here. So he'll get more space, and then of course these will go. And I have been looking, of course, with my seed glasses here. Some of them are pretty wet, but otherwise you can collect a bunch of seeds from these ones are kind of really wet. So
yeah, it rained all morning, so we're glad to be out here.
Yeah.
What else have we been doing? We've also been trimming our wisteria back.
Yes.
Here at the end of summer, we take it all the way back. So we start from, maybe you can hop in there, Lars, and we'll show.
Show from the...
If we can find one.
See if we can find...
Maybe one of those up there at the top, if you could pull
this
that
one
down.
here? Yeah.
So this one, you count back from the main stem. You count to 5 buds, and then you trim it.
Yes.
And that's what we've done this whole way down. I don't think
there it is, actually, yeah. So here, then you would count, where's the first bud over here? Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you could actually cut it here.
And then in the winter, we would do that same process again and cutting it down to 2. So we've taken care of this wisteria already, except for those that have just popped up. We've also done the wisteria up there on the pergola. That was really nice. We've also cut our ivy back. So a lot of stuff is just really getting ready for the winter. Some of our, I call these soft perennials, our hostas, we're letting them completely yellow before we take them back. And the reason is, last year we cut them down really early because, sometimes you just get tired of looking at the garden looking a bit dry and yellow. But this year we've decided to leave them, to let them yellow, to just enjoy that autumn color.
You can see it over here actually, and they're really turning pretty, even though some of the varieties are still very, very green, but some of them, they will turn all this color and then eventually really just get really mushy. And
when they get mushy, that's when we'll cut them
like
down,
this,
all the way to the base, and then we'll get rid of them, because this is a wonderful place for slugs to live and do their little life and hide and whatever. I don't know what slugs do, but it seems like a place that slugs would really want to hang out all winter. So we're going to get rid of any of these sort of soft perennials, cut them all the way back to the ground. But the rest of our garden, we leave until the spring, or end of winter, I should say. And that's when we cut it down.
Because then the great thing about the perennials, then they will just grow again from the under the ground, just like a bear falling asleep and then waking up. So that's a great thing about the perennials. So there's only a few things we are gonna pop in later next month. I think we talked about then adding some more tulips. And we're going to do that when the ground is a little bit more...
Yeah, we have a lot of bulbs. We're waiting for that ground temperature to really get around 10 to 12 degrees. And for us last year, that was, I remember the Halloween pumpkin
November.
was out here. We'd already taken down the Halloween
Yeah.
pumpkin, so that must have been November. So we're hoping the ground temperature will get, right now it was 12 degrees this weekend. So we're hoping for, yeah, around 10, under 10, then we can pop our bulbs in. But what else is flowering? Shall we see?
Let's take
what
a little.
we still got going. You can
This-
see the sedum is really doing its thing.
That's really nice. They're still and even the things that's not we love in the garden is also having perennials. Here's the lungwort, but having something that has also the foliage is pretty, even though it doesn't have any flower on. It's really, I think, really stunning with this really spotted foliage, and the same as the Brunera. Also the Jack Frost variety, I love that one because it has such a lovely foliage. So foliage is also really nice. We still have here a late bloomer storkenip here. Also really beautiful with almost black inside. That's really nice. And even a lot of them that's finished here, they really showcase still, I think. So I'm glad we're leaving all these just
Yeah, the
as
salvia
decoration.
still looks really good. Here's a salvia, look at that.
Yeah, that has flowers for such a long time.
As well as this one, ta-da! So pretty.
The Dusk Salvia, the Pink Sunday, and also Oxford Blue here mixed this year. But that has like a summer flower, but great at self-sowing, so it will come again. We'll take some seeds, but I think it's really crazy that that this is a leaf actually, this color.
Oh yeah, these bracts. Yeah, it's crazy.
That the flower is actually one here.
See the
Like this
flower?
is actually the flower. People think, oh, this is the leaf. Yeah, that's pretty, right?
Very nice.
That one. And also this one, the GM over here, that's also one of your favorites. It's still flowering. The Scarlet Tempest here.
Yes.
Look at that.
I have deadheaded and deadheaded and deadheaded. And as we go through today, you'll notice that we don't do that anymore. Really given up.
Yeah.
So I'm seed collecting now and letting everything go to sleep.
And also what we really love in the garden, now I've placed some, I call them perennial grasses here, but that they come again every year, but they also have these beautiful tops here that really stand nice over winter in the mix of, in between the perennials here. It's really nice.
They look really good in this
Right,
autumn
and in the
light.
sunlight.
Look at that. Yeah.
And another Cardonna here is the one with it almost had black stems, the same over there, the pink one you showed, but also just kept on flowering. We trimmed it down 2 times just the flower. It's also great for bees. None on it now, of course, when we show.
That Agastache is really pretty this time of year too.
Oh yes.
Look at that.
I'll
Even
go out
with
of
nothing left on it.
Right, it's really...
But that's why we want to leave it, because it's okay to enjoy the autumn. I know there's
Still,
a lot of
smells
really
really
wonderful
nice.
gardens here on YouTube, and they've got pumpkin decorations and autumn decorations, and we just don't do that. We just enjoy the yellow and the golden colors that end up being out here for free.
Did I show you actually this one too? I know I've collected seeds of this liatris, but if you haven't done it yet, you can still do it. Some people have asked, what do I do if it's, when do I collect it? It's always when it's like looking really dead and brown. If it's wet, you can place it on a newspaper, let it dry for a few days, but all these bunches of liatris, they need changing temperatures to germinate. So what I do, I put them in the greenhouse in January, and then in March, they will start to germinate. So nature is doing the whole process, which is clever. If you don't have a greenhouse, you could also just under the plant here, find some bare soil here and just sprinkle some of these on. You can add a little soil on top and then just be careful not raking too much around here. And then it will actually also just sprout and you will have a bigger amount of liatris if you don't bother to add in pots and stuff like that. So that's a great way to just get more.
That's great. Winter sowing at its
Right?
best.
So we still have some hirta here. That's really also called hairy Rudbeckia here. It's really pretty. And even if they are finished here, I think they're really stunning as well. And I have collected seeds of those. Because it's not a hardy one, but this clump here came back. But it's autumn colors and cappuccino mix we have here. And flowers from months on. So these are really nice. And also important for us to have like some asters here that still flowering, really give pop of color throughout the whole year. They are almost finished, but they're still a little nice purple here.
We just got rid of a big clump of white ones. They got way too big from the front of the border, so...
Yeah, that's true. But again here with the foliage here, like I talked earlier here, the pleated twitchan, that this is pretty just even with the foliage here. And some of them are real great ground cover, like the thyme here, we just let it grow out and then easily you can trim it back if it gets too crazy. Maybe we show them the middle flower bed, because this is actually just one season. We planted this big tree in early spring. We had
it was cold.
A trampoline here, and they have just really done well here. Again, we have some with really great foliage here that I really love. The stalker here is really nice.
Let me take you guys over here. As you know, I'm a big deadheader, and this is a perfect example of I stopped. So this is a blanket flower. Was this Mesa Peach?
Yes, you can see a little bit left.
And very, very pretty. And now you can see we've officially stopped. So it is ready to die back.
Yeah.
But as it does, look what all I'm going to get. I'm going to get these beautiful little yellow-brown balls just when you need them.
And there's a few here I need to dry to make sure we have it. Normally it comes back, but it also after 1 or 2 seasons kind of gets really big and maybe takes over the place. You can divide it so it comes back, but it will grow from the base again.
Yeah,
so
this is a short-lived one.
Yes, but it's really a good one having.
Speaking of things that are ready to go, we have had some rain and our dahlias have completely fallen apart there.
Yeah, that one, even though we have had great success with netting here. We talked about maybe having a big taller post, and then we have some netting here because they kind of just grow up. But these ones have just been really big and fallen. But these ones are
against the sun. But let me see if I can. There we go. And we can see what we can see. And we're going to leave these here until the first frost. When we get that first frost, like I said, last year it was the beginning of November, but this whole plant will go black. And when I say it'll go black, I mean literally black leaves, black stems. It'll just turn to black mush, and that's when we know that we can dig up the tubers. The problem with doing it now, you can also do it now if you have the time, and that's what you want to do. You want to get your garden ready. You do it whenever you have the time. That's cool. But leaving them until that frost, they're going to get a chance to soak up all that energy, and those tubers are going to be extra strong for next year. So when the frost comes, they'll go black, I promise you, and then you'll know when you can take them up. There's one of your favorites, Lars.
My delphiniums here. We had one that we trimmed back earlier in the summer actually, and came. I love this baby blue color. So that came with another one, and also this elephant grass here, that really does well here. It started just like almost like a bronze color like this, and then all these seed pods are just against the sun here is also really nice.
Back up and show all that. That's still a lot of color. Very nice. And we planted it to hide the compost bin, but ended up really liking it.
Yeah. We have a lupin that came again.
And if you look behind us, you can see the grapevine is empty. We've also cut back the grapevine. We got all the grapes, we've made a bunch of jam, and now it's just an empty grapevine. And we cut it back. If you ask people who know grapes, they wait until the winter, from what we've heard. But we cut ours back whenever we have time. So the same time that we cut back the ivy on our hedge is the same time that we cut back the grapes. And we've made way more grapes. We made 10 kilos just on that this year. It was 9 last year. So we make plenty of grapes. You can of course wait till winter. Maybe that's better.
And we also, just like you can also let it run, but we really cut it way back to the main stem, and it just really did well anyway.
Yeah, we're not great people, but hey, we've got plenty of jam.
Yeah.
The hydrangea are finished, but my goodness, look at that. So pretty. We'll cut a few of the heads off and dry them for Christmas decorations for the Christmas table, but otherwise they'll stay. The wisteria is all trimmed back and ready to go. Everything's just ready to go to sleep, except for, ta-da, the most poisonous plant in the garden.
Yes, the storm hat over here. We have to show them. If you can come closer, there's so many bees.
I'm trying to walk slowly for dramatic effect.
Yeah, you can come over here a bit closer.
Here I go.
And then let's just wait here for a second.
They were full of the little guys today. Oh, there they are.
Can you see them?
I don't think they can hear them though. Yeah, now you can see them. So this is a really, really, really pretty one.
Always reminds me a bit of the delphiniums, but yeah, it's actually the most poisonous one we have in the garden here. So we, you know, of course, place it way in the back. If you have smaller kids, maybe not even have it, but we place it way back there. It was just a clump from a neighbor, kindly friends over there, and they gave me a clump, and then it spreads. I've also collected seeds, and they're just standing there. We have them in white and also in a cloudy one with white and bluish, but the bees are just really loving it. So we have it also for the bees' sake, because it's really, and that it flowers here now so late, together with still with the host anemone next to it. It's really gives a lot of color to the garden.
And we don't go around eating it, so we're pretty safe.
Oh, there was even yeah.
Yeah, they're just everywhere. That's so
bumblebees and different ones.
Ha! A little behind the scenes. The garden furniture is put away so we can start, because this tree, let me zoom around, this tree that's up there, ta-da, it's really pretty, but it drops berries and leaves like you would not believe. So we put up the furniture so we can get back here and get to it. Now another behind the scenes. We're coming next to the fence so Lars can show us what he's been up to.
Behind the scenes. No, I was just looking at the hortensia that we planted instead of the butterfly bush that fell. They are really also finished for now, but I hope they really get established here over winter and really will showcase again next year.
It's had enough water.
Yeah. Actually, I just wanted to show here, because we have this black fence, and I planted some more. I had some double hollyhocks, but I've sown some from seeds, more simple ones that we want to have here against the fence, white ones and yellows that will really, if you can imagine, they'll be tall and just really pretty against this black. And another great thing about autumn, what I look for is all these digitalis here, that some of them have self-sowed, and then it's a great time now to replant them in the garden if you either have too many or if it's in the wrong spot, because they are great at self-sowing. So these ones, because the first year they do the foliage, and then the second year they will come with a big bloom. So now when the soil is really wet and moist, you can move them to a different location. And I plant them often in groups of 5, because then you get a bigger showpiece, but it's great to do it now actually. Okay, so I actually also just want to show you how a host anemone looks when it's finished flowering, and how you can propagate by seed. It gets this kind of like cotton ball here, also pretty just out in the garden. And all these white fluffy things here and the black spots are actually the seeds, and you can sow the whole thing together. And then it really also spreads easily by itself. But they are also just really pretty, these cotton balls here, I think.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
I think I zoomed in close enough. Sorry if I got a little shaky there, y'all.
And come over here, follow me. Here you can actually see, maybe you can see the insects even better here. There's a bumblebee over there. So if you're looking for another one, late blooming perennial here, is the Grønlandsk marguerite, which just started to flower now, gets white, almost a little hint of pink. It was hidden a little bit behind the Bampton that we moved in further, because last year it was a little bit more low ground cover, and so we hope next year it will not be so tall like this one. But this is really nice and gives a pop of color now.
Yeah, it was kind of reaching for the light under that.
It was actually low like this to the ground, but we actually moved the Bampton over here, because it gets really tall and we wanted to give it to a little bit more space.
Yes, let's see if that makes a difference. But
yeah, right.
There's still some stuff that's in flower, but a lot of it is just turning golden, brown, and yellow.
But the 9-bark also great dark foliage still gives great color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rest of it too. I think that's really the whole point, is that there's so much going on, even though nothing is going on. These plants are going to sleep. They're giving us seed. They're giving us, like, look at this bee balm here. There's so much to look at if you just enjoy something that's not what you had all summer, right?
Yeah.
I think there's still a lot of beauty left in the garden. So if we encourage you to do anything, maybe it's to not do anything. You don't have to cut everything down. You don't have to run out and do a big plant haul and replace everything. You can just also enjoy what is still here.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe that's just...
That's true. That was very deep.
Was that very deep? Just enjoy what's here, right?
Yeah.
It did so much, and there's still so much left for it to do if you know, or if you can learn to appreciate it.
Yes.
How about that? Should I go before I just preach too much?
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let us know in the comments what you do in October in your garden, and if there's anything, else that we can sort of talk about or that you'd like to hear from us. So until then, thank you so much for watching.
Tack för idag. Moin!